Welcome back, everybody. I'm here again on the Unorthoblocks server. Just taking a look at my village there. I think it's coming together rather nicely. I still have that pin of villagers right there, and I need to figure out, get them out of there. So I've had this area over here cleared out, and this is where I'm going to put housing for all the villagers. So we'll relocate them over into that area for housing. So I think they'll be much happier over there. So we'll put a road there and some decorations and stuff. That is not what I'm going to do today. I'm over here at the iron farm, so I think I'm going to do a little work on the iron farm. So let me go gather some supplies, and we can actually get right to it. So I built this iron farm almost, I think it was like the first thing I did, because you always need a lot of iron. And so I like to have a nice iron farm. But when I put together, I didn't really finish it. So I'm going to need to come through here and actually finish, because it's all empty in here. There's no storage. So I need all the blocks and stuff should be coming down here and getting stored into chests. Because if we go up, take a look at the top here. You'll see I've got everything going into one chest, so that's where all my iron's going. And I need to, so these guys are doing good. No trades I need. I need to get everything out of that single chest and come down here into a bunch of other chests. And then part of this, I'm going to actually use the auto crafting system to make the iron ingots into iron blocks, because it's just easier to store. And then they'll all come down here. I'll sort out the poppies and the iron, and then we'll auto craft them and put them down into chests below, so we don't have to ever come back up here together to get stuff. So I think I'm just going to start by putting in a layer here. So this is where the first stop is going to be. I'll run hoppers down here, and this is where the sorting and the auto crafting is going to go. And then once that's done, they'll just go straight down into chests down below. So you won't see any of this redstone stuff. You'll just come in here and you're going to see the chest with storage. I'm going to need a way up and down, so I think I'm going to put a ladder system here, so if I do need to get up there, I'll have access to the upper level. Well, this is not good. So an iron golem spawned here, which means I am too close to the farm. So I'm going to need to lower this down a bit. Let's see if I can get him down. I don't know if he probably won't die if he falls, but at least he'll damage him. But I need to clean up all this floor now and move it down a few blocks, because we're right within that sphere where the golems can spawn. Oh, come on, you're not going to fall yet? Fall already. There you go. Let's see. I have a bow, so I'm going to see if I can get rid of him. I mean, he's not going to cause, he doesn't cause that much trouble, but I just want him out of the way. Come on. Yeah, there we go. So let's finish this and pick up all these blocks. Okay, so let's build this down. I'm going to go quite a ways lower. It should still give me plenty of headroom down below. because this is really tall. But I want to make sure I'm definitely out of golem spawning range. Otherwise, I'll end up with like 50 golems stuck in my mechanism and no iron coming out because they won't spawn up top. Let's just slab all this up and get me a platform here where I can start putting in my sorters and crafters. So we'll have the hopper come straight down from there and cross. So the item sorters will go in this general area right here. So we'll have one for the iron and then one over here for the poppies, right? Yeah, on that side here. I'll have to look this up on how to do it. I sometimes don't have this done by memory. Okay, so I did a little bit of looking up, a little bit of building, and a little bit of adjustment on things. I decided to put these up a little higher for the sorter. So we have our two sorters in here. The hoppers will come down, insert in, and dump things into the sorters. And so it'll separate the iron and the poppies. So this will be iron sorting. So you put them in there. It's all going to sort through, and this will be for the poppies. But I do need an extra arrows to get this set up, I think. Okay, I've got my arrows. I like to use arrows because they're not going to be something that naturally spawns from this farm. So they're not going to get stuck in the system. So, what is going on here? Oh, is that right? There we go. Forgot a hopper. So that is the sorting for each of those. And I just need to feed in the supply from up above. Which means I need to take out this chest. Oof, holy cow. Let's just put everything in a temporary chest. So now the hopper will feed just, so this chest up here gets full of items from the farm. They'll go into the hopper system down through the sorters here. And once everything gets sorted, then they will be split up and they have an overflow right there. So anything not, oh come on. Anything not poppies or iron will go down into this hopper chain here. And then we have feeds down here, which will go into the different storage for chests on one side for iron and chests on the other for the poppies. I think I'm going to feed them through here. I might as well lay all these out. So this side will be where all the poppies go. Although I don't imagine I'm going to need that many poppies. And then into the back of all these, we're just going to feed all the hoppers. So hoppers will come down, and we'll have a hopper chain that runs across the top right above my head here, and they'll dump it into all these other hoppers into all the chests below. So like here, this is going to be where the chain is. Oops, let me get back up here. It'll be easier to do from up here. I think what I'll do is I'll have hoppers going across like this, and then the chests will be down below. Or actually, if I do that up here, I can actually hide most of those from below. There we go. We'll pick up that. And then we'll just feed in each one of these. Now I just need to hook up these hopper chains into each of the sorters. And this is a lot of hoppers. So we have a lot of hoppers here, but that's why I build an iron farm first, because I know I'm going to use a lot of iron, a lot of hoppers, and a lot of that kind of stuff. So the iron will feed down on this side, so they're all going to go into these chests. So we'll do the same thing on this side that we did just a minute ago on the flour side of things. Yeah, so if I just poke these through here like this, a little bit of trial and error, but then I can actually put slabs here, and that covers up almost 90% of the things. And then we can do the same thing on this side for the iron. There, I think that's really the chest monsters all set up. So we got all our chests. I just need to run a hopper string down into this chest. So this is the overflow. So anything that doesn't get sorted as an iron or as a poppy will fall down into this chest here. So I'm just hooking up to this overflow right there. And then one last set of hoppers here. This is going to come down here. So this one needs to feed into my crafter before, so I need to convert those ingots into blocks before I send them into the chest below. I didn't have to do that with the poppies because I'm just saving the poppies free. So I'm just making sure I get the height correct on this, because I'm not, it's got to be above the feed so everything can, basically gravity feed down into anything. But I've got a couple, so I got a couple auto crafters, and that should give me enough. So if I run the feed down this way, let's just make this a little bigger. And I need to be able to catch the output. I should be able to run into there. And that chest will feed into the crafter. And I can move this one so it directs into that chain right there. So now everything should come down through there and then flow across here into this chest. Into that chest there. So if I put the crafter here, oops, where's that going? Yeah, I think that's, and that one, no? Let's see if I can get these, let's widen this up just a little bit, because I just want to make sure I can hit these hopper chains. So there we go. So that's going to kick it out this direction. So they'll go into, oops, okay. Now it's in my way. This will go into this chest here. Luckily, when it spits it out, it spits it directly into the chest. So we'll have a crafter here. And block iron is a torch. So let's just hook this up, then I can actually see it in action. I was going to auto trigger that with like a lever or something, but I didn't have anything in my inventory that'll do that, at least easily. I could do it, I could have, but I think I'm just going to build the mechanism straight out, and then we can just make sure the whole thing works properly. This goes here, around here, around here. I'm trying to do this from memory, so forgive me if I look a little lost. So that's going to power it. So when it gets a signal, it's going to kick out the... So put the ingots in there, and when it gets a signal, it will kick them out into this other chest. Oh. Oh, that must have worked. Okay. Well, that works for a one-time use. Now I need to get it set up for multi-use. Okay, I've decided to reposition this a little bit. So I've got it pointing into the chest, into that hopper system, which will go into the storage chest down below. And then here I need to do a trigger system. So that will send the signal in once it's full. And it didn't seem to work with the chest properly, so I think I'm just going to do a hopper here. Okay, that seemed to work. There we go. Yeah, so those did work and went down. So the storage system works fine once I can get this auto crafter built. So I'm gonna hook this up. So we'll put a put this here, and this should actually pull everything out. If I can get something to stand on. There we go. There we go. So now it should be emptying that chest into the sorting system. Take all this. I'll pick up that later. This will take a while to clean out. But it should be coming through here and sorting all the poppies out into the chest. There we go. So we got the poppies flowing down here into storage. And then we have an overflow chest, which everything else I've dropped has gone into. Let's get all this cleared out. So anything extra will go into that overflow chest. And then just a little more cleanup down here. Just to see. I'm going to have to put stairs over the chest so I don't, so I can actually open it. Oops. There we go. I want to fill in the wall so you don't see any of this hopper stuff. All you gotta do is come in here and get stuff out of chests. You don't really care what the what goes on behind the scenes. So. That. There, you can't even tell anything is behind the wall. So we got blocks of iron coming in here. Well, those seem to be working, so maybe my simple setup will actually be working. Since I guess iron can only really, it's going to just fill up the whole thing because every slot's open. I don't need to like trigger it. And I've got 9 different pieces of redstone here, so you can see as each ingot goes in, it's going to, you know, power that line just a little closer. And then just in case anyone thinks of spawning in here, we'll protect it like that. So that's pretty, I think that has the system set up the way we want it to. Well, things are clearing out nicely out of here. So that's good. And I'm just going to test, make sure my overflow works. I did add these composters on top of the hoppers because I think it prevents them from running excess tick checks and stuff. So we have our iron there, poppies there, everything seems to be working. I haven't broken anything, which is always good. We have our overflow chest. I kind of cleaned this up a little bit. And that seems to be working fine. I don't need any complex setup there because it's just a straight fill it up and let it go. So as long as I have enough room to string out that redstone. So I think we are about done. Everything looks pretty good. I think I got everything cleaned up now. So we're just going to let this run and store my blocks. I mean, I could have still left it with ingots because I've got enough chests, but I think that'll be fine. You know, and I could do something with the poppies to get dye, but I don't think I need to because it's so easy to get the dye. I can just grab a stack and make a stack of dye whenever I need to. So we're not even going to bother with that. That's one extra crafting thing I could do, but let's not. Okay, just one last look before we leave. So we got our final setup done. Gathering quite a bit of poppies, no extra junk. Got quite a few blocks. I haven't been waiting around too long. So this up here has been all cleaned up, nice and neat. I think I've got all the things, everything's cleaned up and ready to go. So I think that's going to be it for today. A very simple sorting system and crafting, auto crafting. The auto crafter comes in so much handy, so handy for auto crafting. Well, I want to thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode. So bye bye now.